When the crisis took out, and then when the troops came in, it just like soldier shooting, and then they chase other ways, and we ran away from here. We sat in a bush. It was a very, very, very bad situation whereby there's no even food, you know. Many people really, especially a kid dying of hunger, whatever, you know.
When you're faced with violence, it's difficult. When you're faced with nearly 2 million people fleeing from their homes, 6 million people who are at severe risk of food insecurity, when you're faced with a country that barely has an infrastructure, all of those come together and make the operating environment terribly challenging. And I think the SURF has been particularly helpful for us because it helped us get up and running quickly. I didn't have to go knocking on doors in donor capitals in December when the crisis broke because I knew there was money one phone call away.
SURF has provided 4 security officers constantly. SURF has kept DSS aircraft flying. In fact, it is a backbone of entire DSS operations for humanitarian support.
So we are looking at having a security risk assessment of LER. We will look at the dynamics on the ground in terms of population movement, humanitarian needs, and also with the partners, what they feel is needed.
If I look at numbers, we talk about over 1 million people that have been assisted because of UNDSS rapid, efficient way of doing this risk assessment.
We are enabling humanitarians to operate on the ground by using the SURF money with us as the assets, as the manpower, to open locations for humanitarian access, and then people get help.
In South Sudan, in many places, food is needed, health is needed, non-food items are needed, and in many cases are life-saving. People were saying if aid didn't come in June when we were coming out of the bush back into Lair, we would have been forced to move again because we cannot die here. The aid community made possible that aid reach this place in a predictable way, month after month. So you can see that people have returned and continue to return, so little by little, people are, starting again life as it was before the conflict.
The situation in December when the crisis began was totally out of control. It was crazy. Nobody knew where the food would come from, who was going to coordinate. The IDPs were in shock. The humanitarians themselves were in shock. Everything was a mess. That old POC is flooded, and you're going to see what we experienced a couple of weeks ago. During the 5th day of the relocation, we woke up to a totally different camp. All this was covered in water. They were trying to get all the food out as quickly as possible. As you can see, bags of sorghum. We still have a few bags of sorghum that are there. The whole population from here all the way there. And this just happened overnight. SURF money has been used to do the site planning. This new POC camp is a planned camp compared to the spontaneous one that we had in the old POC.
Yeah.
So this is a maternity.
So how many children have been delivered here in the POC?
Almost 100.
babies.
Since the beginning of the...
Yes.
Wow. So this is the place for testing. Malaria. How many cases do you have in the last, let's say, I don't know, week?
Today.
7, 8, 9, 10.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay. And you have the medicine?
Yes,
Yeah, in pharmacies.
Good.
We have had floods. South Sudan has been affected by cholera. All these things we were able to mitigate, we were able to respond because of the humanitarian funding. Without the emergency funding, without humanitarian assistance, these people would not be here and alive today.